Hello. Yes, a friend of mine sent me blueprint drawing, excuse me, in a DX file and asked if I could make this piece for him. And well, I'm going to kind of show you how I did it. I'm not a great blueprint reader, but I worked my way through it, and he said that's what it was at the end. So I'll kind of show you how I did it. He sent me a blueprint in DXF. So first of all, I'm just going to highlight this outer border things, and I'm going to cut them, delete them, because it's not really part of the drawing that we're going to need for the curves that we're going to need for the drawing. So I'll just cut them. I'll highlight them, hit cut, or I'll highlight them, and I'll just hit delete on the keyboard. Now our grid is over here, control, or our the grid that we draw on. And we want to get this over there to our where we can work on it. I like to get it over there anyway. So I'm going to take this right here, single point. I'm going to click it. And down here I'm going to have my ortho on. So you can turn the ortho on, or I mean disable it. This snaps. And I'm going to put a snap at the end. And I'm going to put the point right in there. So we have a point now. Highlight everything. I'm going to hit this one right here, is move, and I'm going to move it from the point. So when I get over by there, I can turn everything off down here. Just leave point on. If I right click point right there, turns everything off. So I'm on the point right there, and then I'm going to go to 0, 0 right there. That puts me in the center of my grid there. Now here's all the dimensions and everything. It was a DX file, and this is actually drawn. Well, I wanted to check it first and see if it's drawn to size. So he's showing 120 or 112 millimeters. It's in millimeters diameter of that outer circle. So I'll go up here. I'll right click this to open it up, and I'll pull it out there. And I'll see this is the one to get my diameter. Let's just see what that says. We're looking for 112. Now watch the screen up at the top. Let's see. Let's see. Well, there it is. It shows 112. Don't have to watch the screen. That's what we're looking for. So now we want to check this one. What's this? What? 108. Alright, let's check at this one. There it says 108, so we're good on that one. And let's just check a couple of the small ones, just making sure. Now I'll do it this way. Instead of this time, I'll put on, I'll go up here to analyze, and a couple of different things. I can just check the diameter. Let's check this one. What was that diameter? Up here it went to 112. Watch up at the top now where it says select point on curve for the diameter. We'll check right there, anywhere on that curve. Watch the top, it'll show 108 up here, and that's what we want. So we're good with that. If we want to check this circle right here, what's it supposed to be? It's supposed to be 30 diameter times 6. You need 6 holes. Okay, so we're just going to check it. We'll go to analyze, and we'll go from the distance. And we'll go, I'll turn on the quad down here, right there. Quad to quad. It measured 30 millimeters, and that's what's supposed to be. So everything is correct on the drawing. I went through everything, it's correct, but you have to look at these, you know, some people know already, but you have to look at these circles and the lines and what they say is going to be there. These intersecting lines are just showing you what a center line is. The guy who drew the blueprints, and over here are side views, how he drew it out, and these are the 2 side views. You'll see in a minute. Side view, it'll show down here the front view, so to speak, at 15 millimeters. This has to be, and it'll show. Well, I've seen somewhere where it showed 2 millimeters This is the same piece on the side view, so it's going to be 15 and 2. So let me clear out a few more things that I really don't need. We won't be needing them. I'll just go up here to cut them. I'll cut that line out. Let's get down to the basics, what we're needing here. Yeah, we don't need these here. We do want to keep the ones that have the information for the lines that we're going to be, the measurements. Keep those for right now. Okay, so we know we got that, that's a line. These are a couple lines we don't need. Might as well clear it up a little bit. So as I was saying, it's right now, let's work on this outside. It's going to be, this is going to be this right down here, and it's going to be 15 millimeters tall. So I'll start with this here. And there's a couple ways I could do it. I'll start with this first, and I'll just make a circle. And I'll go to the side view of here. And then I will go here. I'll right click it. Or I can type in extrude closed. And I'm going to type in up here, extrusion distance, I want it 15. So I type in 15 up here. I make sure I can either go 15 down or I can go 15 up. I'm going to go 15 up, and there we have our solid piece right there. Now, this we know has to be, this line right here is represented by this line right here, which is going to be 2 millimeters. We're making this piece right now, and it goes like this, but this is a side view. Down here it's 2 millimeters. So I'm going to make that curve, this curve right here, and come down the front view. And I have my grid on in this case. Turn the grid on, and this will let me know how many I go move by the grid. I'm just going to move it straight up 2 millimeters. That represents 2 millimeters. And I'm going to, once again, I'm going to go over here, right click this, go to extrude. And I'm going to just go extrude it past that line a little bit up the top there. And we'll go in here and we'll see what we have. So we have these two now. And I'm going to what they call Boolean difference, which is right here. Go Boolean union, right click it opens up this window. And the second one is Boolean difference. Now we want to subtract. We're going to subtract from what we want on the main part. It's the main part we want to keep. And I click that and I right click it. And it says delete input, yes or no. We're going to say yes. And we're going to subtract from that with that part we just made. And we're going to click it. And there's that piece. This is the piece right here. We just made it. This youth. That's actually this piece right here. So it's going this way on the side view on this side. Now this way it's going this way. You can see it. So that's what that is. Now these lines and things in here, I don't like them all the time. Some people do. So I'll right click it. And I'll go to this up here, which is also right here if you have this open. And up down here it'll say show surface. It doesn't say the right show surface isocurves, but I'm going to say no, click it off, and there those lines went off, as you can see. Off, on. Now, let's go back in this top view for a moment. Let's see what we have. So I'm going to work with these two pieces, these circles right here. And we've got to look, what do we got to do with those circles? Well, those circles, I see when I look here, on these side views, you can see the side view. It looks like something is here going up, and it's showing 5 millimeters from this 2. This is the flat surface of the bottom. It's 2 millimeters, so it's going to go up 5 millimeters from that. And then it looks like there's going to be a hole in there. So I'm going to take these two right here. I got my shift key on, and I'm just holding it down. I'm picking up those two on every one of those circles, because we're going to do this all at once on these. You can left click your mouse, drag it over, do a window click. So let's see what we got here, down here. They're down here. Everything is on the plane there, our drawing plane. So we have to go up 5. It's the total of 7, because it's going right here, or we could bring them up to the 2 level, the floor of this piece, and go up 5 millimeters. But let's just go up 5 millimeters, and that'll be right there. So we're going to hit this again. We're going to extrude it, and we'll have our snap on. So we're going to snap up. We've got 2 right there, and so we're going to go 5 up from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that gives us a total of, it should be 7. Let's see before we do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So we have that right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5, but it's 2 are buried under there that we're not going to see. Don't worry about it. In other words, for right now. So those are. Now we're going to come here to this one. Now this is going to be the hole. We're going to punch a hole in there now. And the reason we can do this because this drawing is all actual size now, so the model will come out right. I'll go to one of our favorite tools again, up to here, right click it. This is the extrude planar curve, and we're just going to go up anywhere we want, but we want to go past our little pieces that we made. You see our pieces that we made over here? So we want those in there like that. Now I'll just show you on this one. We're going to extrude a Boolean difference. So we right click once again. We're going to go here, Boolean union, right click it, and this one is Boolean difference. We take away from what we take away, what we don't want from what we do want to take away, and we're going to make holes. So we're going to select the surface to subtract from. Do this one, and it says select surfaces, polysurface to I click that to subtract with. So we're going to click these right here, and again we're going to have delete input yes in this situation, because we don't want those. And there you have it. Now if we would have, let me undo that, if we would have selected delete, I'll just do it on one. We subtract it here, and we say delete input no. Here's what's going to happen. It'll subtract it, but we still have that piece there. Okay, so you'll find that's handy sometimes. So let's just undo it for a moment, and let's just get back where we're at over here. Right click it, or you can type it, Boolean difference. We take in the base plate, and we're going to subtract it with those pieces, and we're going to put, first of all, yes, we want to delete it. Okay, and then we have that. Now we've got to make these pieces. So it's going to be basically the same thing, because they're the same height. Everything's the same height. So on here, and these this looks like the representation of those. No, I don't think that is. But oh, let's see. Let me turn this on. One. Anyway, we're going to take this. Yes, they have to be. They'll be right here. Let's see. There's the one. There's the right here represents this drawing, because now you can see it's going this way. The U there, and when we're facing this way, it's going there. So this is a sideways, and it's facing this way, and this represents one of those. There's two of them on the same plane there, and then you got one up here that represents it right there. So that dimension is, we've got the dimensions right there. We can get dimension if we need to get that again. If we need to find the circle, we can analyze it. And we can take we'll take the diameter. Click diameter. We'll click it anywhere you want, right there. And it'll say 11.5 is the diameter on that. Okay, so we're going to take these circles. We'll grab them all. And we're just going to tell you what we can do. We're just going to put them on, let's put end on down here. Make sure end is on. And just turn on this thing called Smart Track for right now. And then we'll go to our favorite tool, extrude once again. And you can see them right here. If you see them right in here, they're coming up when I do that. So we're going to snap it. So it snaps right. See how it jumped down here? I'm at the bottom front panel, and it jumped right there. That's the end of those pieces that we had on the same plane right there. So this is where they're at right here. And let's see, you know what? I didn't take it far. No, let me just look here a minute. Yeah, we're okay. Yes. So we have them right here. And let me just see something here. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Undo. Okay. Actually, these are holes. They're not raised up. So we're going to take this and so when I look at this hole here over here, I can see it's basically a recessed. There's the hole. And then the bottom hole's right here, and there seems to be a little bit of a space there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this. Let me put this on the shaded. Well, I'll put it on ghosted. Okay. Now that curve is underneath there. These curves are, so we can't see it. So I'm going to take this curve and get it up on the bottom of the surface here, and I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to right-click it, project a curve. And I'm going to pull, it says pull curve. So I'm going to left click that. I'm going to select this curve right there. And it says select the curve to pull. Right click it. I right clicked it. It says select the surface, that pull, that do the pulling. I want it on the bottom of this, on the top of the bottom of this piece here. You'll see. And there it is right there. So now that is right on. Instead of being underneath it, it's right there now. Okay? Alright, now, what I'm going to do with this other curve right there, this is it right here. You see that yellow when I clicked it? I'm going to bring this up about 1 millimeter. I'll have my snap on. Let me get that curve again. There, and I'm going to just bring it straight up. Right there, it's 1 millimeter off the bottom. Now, I can turn this back for right now. I'm just going to put it on the wire frame. And there's my two curves. Now I want to draw a line from, we'll use the quad. I'll have a mark the quad right here. And I want to draw a line. You'll see it's going to go one single line. And I want to find the quad, or the end, the quad. And I'm going to draw it to here. The other one, you'll see it. I'm going to turn this Smart Track off there, and I'm going to turn off my grid snap so I can snap anywhere I want it. But I'm going to go until I find that quad. There it is, right there. Let me show you what that looks like. What I just did. This is it right here. Right here, you can see that. See, this was the one on the bottom. I'm just going to hide that curve because that's the one that I put on the plate. So now we have this. And what I'm going to do what they call a two-rail sweep. Alright? So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to right-click this one, surface. That square right there. and come down here where it shows sweep two rails. I click that. Select the first rail. It shows up here. I'll click this one. That says select the second rail. I'll click this one. And it shows select the cross-section curve, which is this one. And I'll click it. And I'll say OK. Now, what I just made, let's see if we can, there's a surface there. Okay. There's a surface there. Except what I want to do, because I want to pull that out just a second. This is what I made. Now, that's just, we have to close that off and cap it off, okay? Now, let me put that back there for right now. I'll hit undo. And then I'll show you something here. That's highlighted yellow. I'm going to come up to here and I'm going to right click it. And I'm going to click this icon right there. It says invert selections. So I inverted the selection and I'm just going to go up to this hide and I'm going to hide it. So I can work on this for a minute. Now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to do a simple command called cap and I'll type it in. A cap. And I'll hit enter. Now, we now have this. That's a solid piece. You know, I'm going to click it once again, and I want to again hit this, and I come down here, and it shows. I want to uncheck that. It takes those lines off. So I'm going to change this color so we can see it when I go in there. So I click it, that display color. I click that right there, and this drops down. I just pick this color. But before I do bring everything back, I'll do one other thing now. Okay, we're going to need this a little bit longer, I think, just for sake of discussion here. So I'm going to click this one time. I'm going to come down here, extrude the surface. This time we're going to extrude the surface. So this is going to cut through the bottom of the plate, give us that little extra piece I was talking about. It doesn't matter because we're just going to go through, so I'll just make a hole like that. And I'm going to do a little bit on the top too, just straight up a little bit. And then I'm going to come over here and Boolean union them all together. I'll pick all three. And there's going to be what we call a cutter. So I'll bring back my model there. And there's my cutter. And you can see it's sticking to the bottom. So it'll drill that hole right there, basically. And if I want to, I can do this because everything's lined up right. We need 3 of them. So I'm just going to take the 3 because it's drawn right. The drawing is done right. So I can do this. I'll highlight that piece, it turns yellow. Now I'm going to come down here, right click the array. This one is called polar array. So I click polar array. It shows the center of the polar array. That will be my 0, 0, 0 point. We're going to rotate that around from there. The number of items, I want 3. I just type in 3. The angle, it shows 360, and I just hit enter. And there we have our 3 cutters. Oops, let me do this again, okay? I do it from there. Same thing, number of items 3, 360, and there. We have our 3 cutters now. Now we're going to do the Boolean difference and see what it looks like. We're going to Boolean difference. Select this piece, right click it, and we want delete input yes. So we click our cutters, and we just right click it. And there you see our cutter. It's a countersunk basically hole, and they've got that little lip down there. Okay, so basically we drew that right there, but now we're just going to clean up the model a little bit. It shows that it has the last thing it does, it shows that it has a 0.25 radius on the all the way around. You can see it shows a 2.5 radius. Let's see something here. I just want to see. Yes, a 2.5 radius on the corner, the inside corner right there. So we're going to do that one, and I'll come over here and I'll right click it, and you'll find radius, fillet edges. One's the radius and one's more of a chamfer, so we're going to click this one. And we're going to click into here 0.25, 0.25, and we're going to click this edge right there. Well, before I do all that, I forgot. These are free pieces still, so we're going to make them a part of this model. So we're going to come in here and we're going to left click Boolean Union. There's our base plate with our holes, and then we're going to pick our pieces right there, and we're going to right click. Now this model has become all one model. Alright. And another thing that about it, when we click it, we can see it says closed solid poly surface. That means it's watertight and it could be printed right now. What I'm going to do though, let's do those two radiuses and just finish up real quick. We need that 0.25 radius, and I'm going to come here and I'll click that radius maker again, and I got to pipe in 0.25, enter. And then I'm going to click right here. You probably won't see it, but we'll click it. And that smoothed it out a little bit. Yes, it's put a little bit of a curve, a chamfer in there. And there's another one, I believe, somewhere. There's another one, I believe it's at the top. Let me just look. Yes, you can see it. Look, if you see this at the top of this one, it's got a little curve on it. And the bottom all the way around is sharp. So we'll put a little curve on the little radius of 0.25 on the edge. Right there. And that's our piece right there. Let me just see. That's our piece. Oops, let me undo that. And I'm going to click this. I'll go back up here, and that's when I'll right click it. Invert all, and I'll hide all that stuff, and there's our piece. So that's how you do it, and those are the measurements of the piece. Alright, try to show you a little bit how to do something like that. Have a great night, guys.